find anything yet?
11%?
Yeah.
Oh, it's an Imperial Stout, barrel aged.
Have you heard about Joe?
No.
Joe Mama?
On this episode of Two Dudes Brew Reviews, we're going to be trying Dragon's Milk. Every time I walk by this beer, I'm curious as to what it tastes like. What do you think, Heath?
Dragon's Milk, immediately, I mean, being a huge nerd into the whole sci-fi area, I guess you could consider Dragon's part of sci-fi, right? I mean, it's kind of science fiction in a way. I don't know, growing up with like Lord of the Rings and, you know, Harry Potter, reading the Aragon series, stuff like that.
How to Train Your Dragon?
Yeah, definitely that one, man. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. I'm like, Dragon's Milk, man. I wonder how Toothless made that. But I mean, it actually sounds pretty interesting. I've heard nothing but good things about this. I've actually been to a lot of taverns and or breweries, and they actually carry this. Surprisingly, a lot of grocery stores as well carry this, and I've always seen it, and I thought it'd be very interesting to try out. I've heard nothing but good reviews that the bourbon taste is actually very powerful in it. It's kind of has like a roasted nut kind of taste to it, so I'm actually excited to try it out. What about you, man?
Absolutely. It just looks enticing. I mean, it's named Dragon's Milk. If you've watched The Witcher, if you watched any other TV show, Game of Thrones, it's going to excite you. I mean, it's a very good name that grasps your attention. I mean, what else do you need?
Oh yeah, definitely. For sure. I mean, you gotta spare a coin for your Witcher, man.
Let's do that today.
Yeah, let's do
Let's
it.
spare a coin for our Witcher.
For the Witcher!
3, 2, 1.
Alright, Dragon's Milk is proudly brewed in Michigan at New Holland's Brewing Company. Apparently the term Dragon's Milk is a medieval term that actually meant the best liquid kept at the house. And apparently the brewing company thought that when they created this beer, crafted it, they thought they were actually creating the best beer at their brewery. So let's find out if they live up to their word. What do you think, Heath?
I mean, like I said, I'm very interested in this one. I hope it'll live up to the name of Dragon's Milk, because, like you said, a lot of the fantasy lores of a lot of movies and shows you watch, like the dragon is the main key, either the dragon egg, dragon's milk, or even the dragon scales. So I hope with you putting Dragon's Milk in the name, you would definitely boost the confidence that your beer is almost the best of the best out there at the moment. So I'm very intrigued to try this.
Let's go ahead and get a smell test. Fancy.
Pinkies out.
Wow, I'm getting oatmeal, raisins, and a slight hint of wine too.
It smells amazing. You could definitely tell that it's going to be a strong stout. I mean, obviously it's 11%, but if you didn't know that just from smelling this, you definitely get that like bourbon scent out of it. It definitely kind of gives it like a creamy hazelnutty kind of scent to it, which I'm actually very excited
Caramel
for.
hazelnut raisin is
Something
very
like that.
strong on the sniff.
And like you said, kind of oatmeal-y in a way.
It smells great.
I can't wait to see how dark this thing is.
Oh,
for
I
being
can't
a
wait to
bourbon
see.
barrel-aged stout.
Not only a bourbon barrel-aged stout, they age it on the bourbon barrels for a minimum of 6 months. So it's an older beer.
Man, they really let that crap ferment, huh? Dude.
Alright. I'm excited. Let's go ahead and get a pour of this. Heath, would you do the honors? You can tell by looking at our cups, we just got them poured in. They are pitch black, beautiful, absolutely stunning. I mean, if I saw this beer sitting in my glass, I'd be one proud dad.
Yeah, it's almost like in a weird way, a velvety black color. It looks very rich, looks very, very nice right now. Of course, you know, with porter and stouts, it's kind of hard to keep a head on them because they're so dense and so heavy. But I mean, when we first initially poured these, I actually had a pretty good head to them. But right as we started recording right now, it just immediately disappeared, which I'm actually amazed from. Just from the initial color, I'm very excited for it. From the smell, it's just like one thing after another. It keeps building the hype up, and I can't wait to try it, dude.
Every time you smell this beer, you're picking up different hints of something new that you didn't smell on the previous whiff of it.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's beautiful. Like we said, it's almost like semi-nutty wine. It's just a beautiful beer.
It's definitely hard to describe because you get so many scents at once. You get like a hazelnutty, you get a caramely, you get a vanilla, you get an oaty. Like everything just comes at you at once. It's really hard to describe it.
There's a subtle sweetness over the top of it, almost like a vanilla lavender kind of sweetness over the top of the nuttiness. It's great. Let's see how it tastes. I mean, it looks that good in the glass. It's got to be good.
Oh, and I'm pretty sure you guys are wondering, what is this? What are we doing here, Kyle?
It's called Dragon's Milk. Obviously, it's a type of milk. So, what does milk go well on? Cereal.
So what does this have to do with cereal?
Milk goes well on cereal. Maybe Dragon's Milk goes well on cereal. So later on in the segment, after we get an initial taste test, we're going to see how this beer tastes on milk. Dragon's Milk on our cereal.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and try the initial taste test. See what our first opinion of this beer is. Probably a few more sips based on how well it smells, because we kept getting mixed reviews on the smell. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and do the under further review, where we let the, well, I would say beer, but I'm going to go ahead and give it the credit of the bourbon-aged beer. Sit outside for a solid 25 to possibly 30 minutes, depending on how the Florida sun wants to play. And let's go ahead and take our first sip here, bud.
Let's see how it is. Cheers. That is so dark. It's nutty.
Whew. Very smooth. Very, very smooth. It kind of has the thickness of milk in a way. I definitely get that.
Wow.
Definitely get a very malt roasted nut kind of taste immediately. Definitely powerful oatmeal kind of taste to it. Very, very velvety, smooth to drink. Definitely one of those kind of sipping beers, though. You definitely don't want to rush through this.
Don't want to chug it,
especially when it's
very
11%.
heavy.
But definitely one of those like relaxing beers if you're sitting around a campfire in the middle of winter kind of situations, or if you're just at home relaxing, watching some movies. What about you, man?
Man, it is nutty. It's chocolatey. It's smooth. It almost tastes like a German chocolate cake. If you've ever had a really high quality German chocolate cake with those rich chocolate overtones and the caramel in there, the subtle caramel, it tastes just like that.
I would say, yeah, almost on par with that, because they definitely use dark chocolate, and it definitely has a dark chocolate tone, but not as bitter as dark chocolate is.
Not at all.
It's like almost to that point, but it's still semi-sweet.
Like semi-sweet chocolate chips, essentially, in your glass. It's very
a little
smooth.
bit darker. I like it so far, but like I said, under further review will be the ultimate test of time, let alone the cereal. So I can't wait to see how that goes. Well, I guess we'll see you guys in, 20-25 minutes?
Let's go.
You excited for this? I'm kind of nervous, man.
I don't know. I'm kind of excited about it. I mean, how good can a beer be after it sits out in the Florida sun for half an hour? But I think this one might hold the test of time better than some of the other beers. So what do you feel like?
I mean, hopefully the Florida sun, if anything, did a lot of pluses. In the past experiences that we've had, it hasn't done too much. The only positive beer I think we've had, two positive beers, is the 90-minute IPA from Dogfish Head and the Rolling Rock. Those were the only positive we've currently had.
I could say the same thing, to be honest with you.
I definitely feel like it's going to be more of a roasted, nutty, malty kind of flavor, or more of like a floral oatmeal kind of flavor. It's going to bring out more. The alcohol, of course, is going to be more intense, from my opinion, because it is a bourbon barrel aged beer. It's not just your typical stout.
Imperial Stout.
Sorry, Imperial.
Let's make
stout.
sure we get that right for the elitists.
Second time now.
The elitists that might be watching our channel.
But definitely, I think this thing would do really well compared to the past beers we've had. What about you?
I feel the exact same way. Let's go ahead and get a taste of these bad boys. They've aged in the sun. Let's get it going.
All right.
Heavy. Heavy. If you took Hershey's dark chocolate, mixed it into a saucepan with some raisins, some honey, and some bourbon, and you just got that bad boy nice and hot.
A little bit of oats. Dude, that perfectly describes it.
Yeah.
Like I said, it is heavy, but I don't know why, but in my opinion, it feels more smooth than it was cold.
It definitely is.
But obviously, like I said, it brought out the alcohol flavoring more than when it's ice cold, of course, because different molecules move within different temperatures. But dude, this is definitely up there with the freaking 90-minute IPA and Rolling Rock. Like, I cannot complain with this. If I was out with my buddies, or if I was just chilling watching a movie and I forgot about my drink, or binge watching The Witcher. We come back to this after an amazing episode or two, and then we're like, oh, dude, our dragon's milk. Dude, I would gladly drink this any day.
Watching it with The Witcher, or drinking this while watching The Witcher, absolutely.
Lord of the Rings, Aragon, the Hobbit series.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, even Toothless, man. For my boy Toothless.
For our boy Toothless.
But anywho, so yeah, under further review, man, this thing's amazing. But the ultimate true test would, I don't know, I can't put my finger on it. What would it be, Kyle? Shit. The ultimate way to truly test how well this beer would pair is, I don't know, man, I can't think of the word of it, Kyle.
Milk. It's called Dragon's Milk. Whenever something is entitled with milk, I automatically associate that with cereal. So let's go ahead and make a craft cereal.
Yeah,
Are you ready?
Hopefully this chocolate peanut butter cereal goes really well with our dragon's milk. Yeah, man, here goes nothing, bro.
We are eating the Dragon's Milk with Kashi peanut butter and Kashi chocolate mixed together. It's my favorite cereal. It kind of makes it like a healthy peanut butter cup.
Kind of reminds me of like a healthy Reese's Reese's peanut butter puffs.
So let's go ahead and put the Dragon's Milk on there, and we'll give our review. Cheers.
Oh man, this is crazy. Honestly, right now it kind of sounds like Rice Krispie treats. All right, let's go ahead and clink it and see what happens.
Cheers.
Did we just invent something new?
I think we did.
Chocolate peanut butter, Kakashi cereal, with the wonderful dragon's milk. I will take that over normal milk any day, dude. This is insane. I know you guys are thinking like, what is wrong with you guys? But if you don't do it, someone has to. This is insane.
People drink mimosas with their breakfast all the time.
We use dragon's milk.
Gung ho.
You haven't lived life until you put dragon's milk in some cereal.
You haven't lived life until you've worked 11 days straight, full time, with overtime, and finally got a day off, and you said, I'm having a good day today. If you ever want to go on a medieval trip to slay the dragon, if you're not pouring the dragon's milk on your cereal, what are you even doing?
What is life?
What
at
is
that point?
life? I'm starting my day off with some 11% cereal.
I mean, if you're in your mid-20s and you definitely want a good buzz going, because obviously you're not an alcoholic till you're 30, so nobody can call you that. But you want a good buzz while you're at breakfast and you don't want to seem girly with a mimosa? Dude, this is the way to go. Chocolate peanut butter Kakashi with the wonderful New Holland Dragon's Milk.
Upon further review of this beer, it doesn't lose a lot of quality warm as compared to cold. I mean, it's a solid beer. For an Imperial Stout, I honestly don't know how you could do any better than this. And this is coming completely unbiased, but I'm a human being with senses. It tastes good. It smells good. It looks good. It is good. What about you, Heath?
Definitely have to agree. I mean, it smells good, tastes good. You can even put your morning breakfast cereal. Like, even warm, you can't go wrong with that.
It would be better cold.
Definitely better cold, of course. But you really can't go wrong with this one. Bourbon barrel aged stout. I mean, usually I don't have a problem with those, but this one just always skyrockets to the top for me. I mean, even in the cereal, it pairs really well, of course, with chocolate and peanut butter. You don't really want to pair it with anything else, maybe vanilla, if that.
Don't go putting this on your Lucky Charms or Tricks.
Yeah, no, you're gonna have a bad time.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna have nothing but a sugar high and a crash with all this alcohol.
If you want if you're in the mood for a mimosa, but you want to be like a real tough guy, you want to look good in front of the ladies, nothing looks more manly than having a dark stout poured all over your cereal.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. People will look at
11%.
you weird at the restaurant, but they just don't understand yet because they're not fully capable of this power.
Just say, I want a bowl of Reese's Puffs, no milk. And when they say no milk, you're going to be like, I got my own milk.
Especially when you get that continental breakfast at like Holiday Inn or 6 Days Inn, something like that. You just be like, I don't want the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I want my Cocoa Puffs.
With no milk.
Milk.
I'm bringing the milk. I'm bringing the heat.
I'm bringing the Dragon's Milk.
I'm bringing the dragon's milk. Anyways. So,
all right. So
giving bottle caps to the bottle.
just the bottle design. I love it personally. Like I said, I love this whole medieval, dragon kind of area with all the video games, movies, Skyrim, Witcher, Hobbit, everything that I've announced earlier. I love how this bottle looks. I love the dragon scale on it. I like the little silhouette in white of the dragon, and it's very simple. I actually like it surprisingly.
It reminds me of The Witcher. I've barely watched any TV shows more than once or twice, 3 times at the most. Me and my fiance probably watched The Witcher probably a solid 4 or 5 times all the way through. It's quite an accomplishment. It just speaks to folklore and mythology. It's very interesting and intriguing, especially if it's done well. So as far as the bottle caps for the bottle goes, what are you giving it, Heath?
Like I said, I'm a huge nerd, so I'll definitely bump it up to at least 8 bottle caps. I mean, I like it. It's very simple. It's very pleasing to the eye. It definitely grabs your attention just walking by if you're a huge nerd like that. And like I said, I'm a big fan of Dragon Scale, just in general, so it really grabs my attention. It's also black and white. They don't have to worry about flashy colors and stuff like that. What about you?
For the bottle caps of the bottle, I'm giving it a 9. It's nice and dark. It says Dragon's Milk in big bold white letters. Bourbon barrel aged stout. It's got a picture of a dragon on it with 11% ABV. What more could you want? It's a solid beer. It speaks for itself. You get raisins, you get vanilla, you get the wine sweetness, a lot of chocolate, and some oats. I mean, it's a great beer. Very solid. So as far as the beer itself, what are you giving it, Heath?
Ooh, tough decision, man. Like I said, everything about it has been great so far. I don't really have anything negative to say about it. I mean, obviously, it takes about 6 months, roughly, to brew this batch. I'll go ahead and say it's a 9 out of 10 overall for bottle caps. The only thing I would change, of course, it's a little too much of an alcohol content, but that's due to the barrels there. But other than that, I mean, you can't go wrong. It's great when it's ice cold. It's great when you leave it out in the sun, and shockingly, it's great in cereal, dude.
Warm.
Yeah, warm in cereal. We didn't even try it cold in cereal. It's great warm.
We don't advise you to do that at home. That was strictly for our viewers.
Yes.
We don't recommend putting an 11% beer in your cereal. We just did it because it's enjoyable to watch. So, as far as bottle caps of this beer goes, I'm gonna have to meet Heath and say that this is a 9 out of 10. As far as stouts go, you can't do any better. I mean,
it's a great stout to start out with on this series.
great stout. It's aged on bourbon barrels for 6 months. It's got a high ABV, but it slightly tastes like it, but it's bearable. It's not like other beers that taste like straight up rubbing alcohol. Once you get past 10%, it's easily drinkable. It's very friendly to you if you like stouts. Once again, the wine smoothness helps this go down. I mean, it's a great beer. It's a great beer.
Yeah. All in all, great beer. So that's 18 bottle caps out of 20, roughly, between us both. That's
absolutely.
pretty
That's
good.
Solid.
All in all, I guess this is the end of the video. I greatly appreciate everyone who's stayed until this point. I appreciate everything that you guys do to support us. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Click the bell notification in the end as well, so you know when our next uploads are. And if you guys want to request a certain beer, stout, porter, lager, anything like that, feel free to mention it in the comments. We definitely look at the comments as soon as possible, or as much as possible, and we'll definitely make a video out of it, or at least reply to you guys, see when we can make a video out of it. But until the next episode, I'm Heath.
I'm Kyle.
And this has been Two Dudes Brew Reviews.